Socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. Hello and welcome everyone. This is our second video lecture. In the first lecture, we had discussed so many things. We had discussed what is socialism. We had discussed how socialism was brought up in Europe, how Russian people were, and how the people from of all over the Europe were influenced by French Revolution and how they wanted to bring revolution in their country too. So, socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. We will study further about this chapter. Social condition in Russia. So, what were the social condition in Russia before the revolution? Before the revolution, Russian society was divided into two groups. Basically, these groups were first privileged class and second non-privileged class. Privileged class, a small percentage of influential people who had political and other rights. So, in privileged class, only influential people were there, people who had all the rights, people who could do anything they wanted, basically rich people and people with influence and people with power were there in privileged classes. And then there was a non-privileged class. 90 percentage of the population, non-influential, did not have any rights, had to work long hours and lived miserable lives. So, in privileged classes, we have seen that 10% population of people were there. 10% population was there in privileged classes, and they had all the rights. They were the people who had all the rights. They did not had to work anything. They did not had to earn their living. They just exploited the people, and they earned their profit by that. In non-privileged class, about 90% of the Russian people were in non-privileged class. They did not have any influence, means they did not have any influence over anybody. They did not have any political or any social or economical rights. They had to work long hours, means their factory hour, their working hours were about 10 to 14 hours. They were working about 10 to 14 hours to fulfill their needs. Their wages were very low, and they were the people that were getting exploited by rich class. That is, non-privileged class people were getting exploited by privileged classes, and non-privileged class were living a miserable life. Then after this, we have let me tell you that there were two political groups in Russian society. Although the Russian society, I mean in Russia, there were it was illegal to form any political party, but still there were two political parties. They were working. They were running illegally, and these two parties were first Menshevik and second Bolshevik. So, Menshevik Party, group of Russian Social Democratic Labour Party in minority, wanted participation in parliament through election. So, Mensheviks were basically a group of Democratic Labour Party, means they were a group of people who want. They were the group of democratic people of Labour Party. They were the representative of Labour Party. They were in minority, means not many people were there in Menshevik Party, and they wanted to bring change through participation in parliament through election, means they wanted to participate in parliament, and they wanted everybody to elect, means they wanted election right for everybody, and that is how they wanted to participate in parliament, so that they could have their own vote. They could decide on the matter of state. Second is Bolshevik Party, group of Russian Social Democratic Labour Party in majority. They favored change through revolution. Vladimir Lenin was the leader of Bolsheviks. So we see that there were two political parties in Russia before the revolution. First were Mensheviks, second were Bolsheviks. So Bolsheviks were in majority, means many people were there in Bolshevik party. They favored change through election. Unlike Mensheviks, they wanted to change through revolution. Mensheviks wanted to change the society by participation in parliament, and Bolshevik wanted the change in the society by revolution, means they wanted to revolt to bring change in the society. Vladimir Lenin was the leader of Bolsheviks. Vladimir Lenin, who later became the president of Russia, was the leader of Bolshevik party. So these two parties were there. Then we will move to the event which led to the revolution even more speedily than it should have. Means this was the event that led to the revolution very speedily. So this event is called Bloody Sunday. This happened in 1905. We will see what Bloody Sunday and what the revolution of 1905 brought up for Russia. On 9th January 1905, a mass of peaceful workers with their wives and children were fired at in St. Petersburg while on their way to the Winter Palace to present a petition to the Tsar. More than thousands were killed and thousands of others were wounded. So it says that on the 9th January 1905, it is called Bloody Sunday for a reason, because on 9th January there was Sunday. So on 9th January 1905, a mass of peaceful workers, means workers were getting exploited by rich people, by influential and privileged people, and they were tired of it. So they decided to march over Winter Palace. Winter Palace was the place where the Tsar were living. So they decided to go to Winter Palace and present their petition to Tsar. They wanted to present their petition about their working condition to Tsar, and so they decided to go to Winter Palace, and a lot of number were going. The mass was going, women, children, wives, all the people were going, and they were fired at. When they started going to Winter Palace, the guards saw them, the guards of Winter Palace saw them, and they just fired them. They shot at them, and many people were killed. About 1,000 people were killed, and more than 1,000 were wounded. This was the event that struck the Russian people. The common people were very agitated. They were provoked. They wanted the revenge. They wanted the revolution. And after this was also a revolution. Revolution of 1905. Although this revolution was not successful, but we can say that this revolution was like a dress rehearsal for the revolution of 1917, which is the main revolution. So 1917 revolution. There were two revolutions of 1917. First, February Revolution, and second is October Revolution. February Revolution, it was the first of the two revolutions in Russia. It marked the end of Romanov dynasty. Tsarism was replaced by Russian provincial government. So February Revolution, first revolution of 1917 happened in February. It was conducted by Menshevik party, and this revolution was not very successful, but they after this revolution, the Tsarism was replaced by Russian provincial government, and this revolution was the end of Romanov dynasty. But this revolution was not very successful. That is why one more revolution happened, that is October Revolution, achieved without shedding blood. The most important feature of this revolution, the October Revolution, is that it was achieved without shedding any blood, also called Bolshevik Revolution. This October Revolution is also called Bolshevik Revolution since Vladimir Bolshevik was the leader of this revolution. He had led this revolution. That is why this revolution is also called Bolshevik Revolution, and it was very successful. After this revolution, Vladimir Lenin became the president of Russia, and Russia became a democratic country. At last, we will see the impact of Russian Revolution on world. How the world was impacted because of Russian Revolution. What the Russian Revolution brought up for world. What changes did Russian Revolution bring for the world? Promotion of socialism and communism. After seeing Russian Revolution, the Russian Revolution promoted the socialism and communism all over the world. All the countries started following the socialism and communism. Redefinition of democracy. Russian Revolution provided the world the redefinition of democracy, that democracy is not just about the rights to speak and right to express yourself, but it is also many more things. So that is how Russian Revolution give the redefinition of democracy. Rise of nationalism. It also brought the rise of nationalism in all over the world. Means all over the world, all the countries started following the footsteps of Russia for nationalism. rights of workers. Workers had better rights after the revolution, and all the workers started aiming at that only. They also wanted good rights and good working